That's Aloe Blacc from his new album, Stand Together, a collection of 12 new songs that celebrate unity, connection, and humanity. And to make a real difference, each track is paired with a non-profit organization with the goal of encouraging open engagement with others. We spoke to Aloe Blacc just after Stand Together was released and asked him what kind of engagement he's had with fans who have heard Stand Together.
People have told me it's very inspiring. One of the fans was saying that, they listen to the music every day on the way to dropping the kids off to school because it's something that the whole family can enjoy.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, let's face it, times being what they are, we can stand for some inspiring music because it's tough out there these days. And, everybody's struggling with their own things and with the global stuff and politics and personal tragedies and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot. Now, I see each track is kind of paired with a nonprofit organization on this record. So what kind of made you want to do something like that? It seems very, very ambitious.
Well, my wife, Maya Jupiter, is a really brilliant recording artist as well. And she's kind of been doing this her whole career. But lately, I've been inspired by her and just the idea that we have an opportunity as artists to amplify the best parts of humanity. And some of that is coming from heroes in the community who are starting nonprofit organizations to uplift the most vulnerable. And this album is my way of being of service. A lot of times organizations will ask me to post some of their messaging on my social media, or they'll ask me to sing at their gala fundraiser. But I feel like one of the most powerful ways I can participate and contribute is through song.
All righty. And so did you compose these songs specifically for the album, or were they things that you had around that you kind of brought into the project?
Many of the songs were composed specifically for the album. There's a song called Breakthrough, which represents an anti-recidivism organization that helps returning citizens find work and find housing and just matriculate back into society after being in prison for a long time.
Don't tell me you ain't never made no mistakes. I've been known for bending the rules until they break. Don't tell me you ain't never had no regrets. There been times I rolled the dice before I placed the bet. I've done things that I can't take back. I'm barreling down a one-way track. When it feels like everything's breaking down, it's time for a breakthrough.
There's this great marriage between their story and the way that I tell the story in the song. And I help to represent them. But if you have no idea about it, the song just sounds like it's motivating, sounds like inspiration.
Right.
But if you dive deeper and you look deeper, you'll find that it's really about this organization and the work that they do. And hopefully it will encourage my fans to be active, either to donate or to engage.
Yeah, and that's a universal kind of subject, especially in the States. I interviewed a band, Americana type band, a couple of weeks ago who had written a song about a woman who had been incarcerated for possession of marijuana, got released 4 years later. By then, in that state, marijuana was legalized, but she couldn't get a job because she had been convicted of something that is no longer even a crime. And she's paying the price ongoing because of her record. It's an interesting.
Twice.
Yes, exactly right. So, I mean, what can people do about that? Do they just talk to their politicians, or is there more kind of grassroots efforts that they can take on board?
Yeah, initially it would be being informed is number one, developing a sense of compassion is number two, and then engaging is number three. Engaging is donating to the organization or working at the level of activism, calling your local lawmakers and saying, we need legislation to fix this.
Right.
Why does someone serve their time, and when they get out of prison, they're still serving time because nobody will acknowledge them as someone who's paid their debt.
Right. Now I see
Um,
you
so
covered.
yeah, it comes down to getting engaged and speaking to, organizing with your community, organizing with your city and your town, and urging the lawmakers to listen to the voice and the will of the people.
All right. I see you covered Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On," which I mean, as soon as you hear that first lyric, you know what it is, and you remember the first time you heard the song originally. But why do you think we needed to hear it again?
Picket lines and picket signs. Don't you punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on?
A message like "What's Going On" is timeless. Everywhere around the world, there is some conflict happening, and we just need to maintain constant vigilance. We have to always be speaking truth to power and reminding folks that we are here for one another. So some people forget that, and some of those people end up in leadership positions where they should remember, and is up to us to remind them. So a song like "What's Going On" is that reminder. And Marvin Gaye, along with Bob Marley, were two artists in an era where message music, and specifically politically messaged music, was embraced by the industry. And so I wanted to have this musical dialogue between the Bob Marley roots reggae style and Marvin Gaye's lyrics, because they both were very much in tune with the power of their influence.
All righty. And another person who kind of you pay tribute to is Harry Belafonte on "Not on My Watch," song written for a film. What can you tell us about Harry Belafonte that kind of impacted your life?
Not on my watch, oh, not on my watch. Now while I'm around with all the love that I've got. Not on my watch, oh, not on my watch. Now while I'm around, not on my watch.
Harry was one of my mentors. I had the opportunity to learn from him and speak to him on occasion. His experience as an artist was very instructive because he used his celebrity and his influence to speak to leaders of countries and to tell them that humanity and compassion for the vulnerable is important. He used his celebrity to humanize the condition of the most vulnerable in the United States, especially, Black Americans who were subjugated to discriminatory laws, restrictive covenants, Jim Crow, and that work that he did was one of supporting financially movements. So when you think of his relationship and friendship with Dr. Martin Luther King, activists don't necessarily make a paycheck. Somebody's got to put food on the table. And, Harry and his friends were the ones that were helping to feed the families of the activists, to pay for the transportation and the hotels and the security. And then to brokering conversations with world leaders. So those are the things that I learned from Harry. And that's why I wrote this song, "Not on My Watch," for his documentary called "Following Harry."
All right. And for folks who haven't seen the documentary, Is it your standard kind of biopic, or kind of following his life through, or what does it focus
Almost.
on? Yeah,
Yeah. There was already a biographical documentary on Harry, that tells a lot about his earliest days and where he came from.
right.
But this following following Harry documentary is the last 12 years of his life.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he really had a huge influence on today's most impactful activists and change makers in the United States. And I was lucky enough to be one of them.
Right. Now, being an organizer and a activist in here in 2025 with political situation as is, how is it different, say, than it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago, do you think? Is it harder to be heard, to make a difference now?
Oh, I think the challenges are the same. My generation may say it seems harder. I would say probably not harder. When you think about the the aid of social media and technology that we have that helps to document and spread information. Now, the one caveat is that the spreading of information can also go both ways. It can work against you. And now with technology, people can fabricate new information. So I would say probably we have a lot of tools. We have a lot of learned experience and a lot of not new, but standard operating procedures that we can glean from the past. Um, you know, and we also just have, I think, the ability to spread our word much more broadly.
All right. Now you're heading off to Italy, if I'm not mistaken, in just a few hours, performing at the Special Olympics. What's that? What are you going to do while you're over in Europe, in addition to whatever it is you're doing with the Special Olympics?
Yeah, well, I get to perform for the opening ceremony at the Special Olympics,
Right?
and I'm going to sing a medley of songs that people know and a medley of brand new songs from the Stand Together album. So I can introduce these themes of affirmation, inspiration, and motivation to the European and the worldwide audience. I won't have a whole lot of time in Europe. I'll be off to Sri Lanka just after that to meet with a co-founder in a biotechnology company that we've started in discovering new medicines for cancer and viruses.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're going to be on busy all the way through. And then when you get back to the States, are you doing shows, concerts? What do you got up your sleeve next?
Yeah, there will be some concerts coming back when I get to the States. I've got concerts in Oregon and Virginia, Washington, and Los Angeles. In May 2nd is a big festival here where I get the chance to open for Lenny Kravitz
Oh, cool.
in a festival called the Beach Life Festival.
All right. And how do these songs fit in with your live presentation? Do you kind of weave them in with your older stuff, or kind of make them more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Weave it in with the older songs and try to get a little bit of the familiarity of hits from the past.
Yep.
Sprinkle in some of the new songs, give people a chance to learn them and sing them with me, and then maybe a few covers just to just to honor the greats from the past.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.